All right, now we're going to teach you guys how to receive in your stock orders that you get from New York. Once your truck arrives there, you're going to have to receive all of that product into inventory. I guess first you're going to need to know where to go to on your gun. So let's zoom in on this. All right, so we're going to be picking number 1 for receiving. You're going to press 1 and enter. All right, that's going to prompt you to screen. And then you're going to do PO receiving, number 1. Enter. And it's also going to be non-staged, which is number 2. And enter. Okay, now it's going to ask you, it's going to prompt you for a PO number. The PO number is what you're going to get. You're going to have a printout on a piece of paper with, it's going to have a barcode on it. And that's what you're going to scan. And that's going to have all the information necessary of everything that was in that truck that just came and got delivered. So after you scan that PO, it's going to say shortcut. All right, the shortcut is going to be the first skid that you, once you unload the truck and the truck leaves, and then you want to start putting away, you're going to go to your first skid. You're going to open up your first skid. And we can pretend that this is a little skid here. And you're going to come to your first part number that's on top. It's a 7768. I'm going to scan that. Another trick to scanning is sometimes if you're too close or too far away, you have to just kind of adjust the gun as you hold the trigger and until it finds the sweet spot. All right. Let's come back in here. There we go. After I scan the part, let's wait till that focus. Okay. It's going to ask me for a quantity. All right, I'm going to have to physically check to see, okay, I see that there's 2 pieces on the skid. So I'm going to hit 2. And then I'm going to press enter. Okay, now it's going to ask me for a check digit. This is the location where I'm going to put this away. As you can see here, I'm in New York, so it's telling me that 1B310 is where it wants me to put this away. That's probably because there's already existing part numbers in that location. So that's a good way to, this way you don't have to look around and remember where everything is. It's going to tell you, hey, put this over here because that's where the rest of the stuff is. If you don't have the room for that over there, you can override this by putting it wherever else you would want to go if you wanted to move it somewhere. So we have our fake warehouse location set up over here. So I'm going to say that I want to put those 2 pieces, I'm going to put them on my floor, all right, which is 2A010. Now that's, like I said, the 2 represents your warehouse. So if this was Texas, this would be 2. If it was California, that would be a 3. If it's here in New York, we have a 1. Then, like I said, the second digit here is an A. That stands for that whole row. You're going to have as many, aisle. So each aisle, you're going to have an aisle of A's, you're going to have an aisle of B's, C's, and so forth and so on. And then again, your 1 is in between your stanchions. Your 01, that would be that everything in between that stanchion. And your 0 is your floor. Your 1 is your second. Your 2 would be the third one up, and so on. So we're going to put this away and just scan that location. After I scan that location, you're going to see a yes and a no on the screen. Okay, there we go. All right, your answer is going to be yes to this, but we don't know what the question is. And like I don't know if, like I said earlier, this screen is a touch screen as well, and you're going to have to just kind of, I'm trying to do this backwards. You got to push yourself back up to see what it is. So, are you sure do you wish to put this item away in the location 2A01-0? Yes, I'm sure. So, you're going to go here to your arrow buttons. You're going to move it over to yes, and you're going to hit enter. And then it's going to pretty much just, double check on the quantity. Yes, that's correct. Hit enter. And if you scroll back up on the screen, it says you successfully put that item away. Okay. Enter again. Now it says to enter a shortcut or F10 to exit. F10 is always your back button. Function F10 or function 0 on this gun, which also has the F10 up on the top. But function 0 is always going to bring you back up to the previous page. but I still have more stuff to receive in, so we're going to go ahead and scan the next item that we find. First, I have to physically put these away, obviously, because I scanned these into that location. So we're going to put those on the shelf. And then we're going to get to the next item that we have on the skid, 3510M. So we're going to scan that. Same thing, it's going to ask me for the quantity. So we'll zoom in again and we'll just show you what the screen's going to look like again. And it's very repetitious. It's you know, once you start getting used to it, it's going to come easier and easier. Obviously, quantity, we have 2. Enter. It's going to ask for the check digit again. Like I said, it's going to display where I have it already. So you're going to either see a 2-A or B or C, or a 3-A or B or C, depending on where you are. I'm seeing the 1 because it's New York. And I'm going to put that away to 2A011. I'm going to put that on the second shelf. So just going to scan that location. Once again, it's going to ask me, am I sure I want to put that there? I'm going to go to my keys. I'm going to scroll over. Yes. Enter. Quantity is 2. Correct. Enter. And see, you don't have to scroll up anymore once you start to get in the groove. If you're going to scan a whole truck in, it's going to constantly keep asking you the same question. So if you scroll over, if you go over, you don't have to keep scrolling up to make sure, you know, if it says it's successfully put away. If you just see the OK on the bottom of the screen, you could just press the enter button and it'll prompt you back up. And you'll know that that's asking you for another item number. So again, you don't have to scroll back up again. You could just scan the next one. If you already know what that's going to say up there, you don't have to keep going back to it. So let's scan in the last, we'll put these other ones away to the shelf. I'm just going to lay them down in there for right now because it's a little tight. All right, we're going to scan in the last 2 pieces that we have on this makeshift skid here. Okay, now I want to show you what happens if you try to scan in more than, let's pretend I have, you know, I only physically have 2 here, but let's just say that I think I see 3 and I made a mistake. So I put 3 in and I hit enter and it says over receiving an item is not permitted. So right there, that should flag a problem with either I was sent too many, you know, sent more than I was supposed to receive on the PO, or I physically counted something wrong. So double check your count, find out to make sure, you know, is it really a 3, is it a 2? And, you know, if you do have 3 and you're supposed to only have 2, then you're going to have to call over here and find out what happened, because it's also going to help us check our inventory. If one of the guys in the back here overshipped you guys a piece that we need to now take out and give to you, then we can do that and we can make that adjustment. All right, so, okay, I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to bring me back to the quantity, and it's going to, you know, so I'll change that to 2 because I checked it and I really only have 2. I made my mistake. Enter, check digit, and I'm going to put that away to the location like I've been. I don't really have any more room on my shelf, but I would scan that and go through the same steps that I did previously with the other 2.